What's going on, people? Welcome to Man Knows Football. You're here with myself, Guni. After another week of disappointment, if you are a Chelsea fan, I am now numb to these these just clueless performances from our club. But before we get into any content, I'm going to have to ask you lot to smash that subscribe button. Help us get up to 20k. We are on that road to 20k, so you get me. Your subscribe will be appreciated. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well and give the video a thumbs up. Let's get us up in that algorithm. Today, Chelsea hosted Brighton in today's Premier League fixture. We are yet to reach the promised land of 40 points. Today being the 15th of April 2023. We are yet to reach the 40-point mark, and I just clocked. I don't have a watch on my wrist. I don't even know why I went to check my wrist when I said the date. That's how you know my head is gone. It's completely fried at the minute at what's going on with Chelsea Football Club. I'm just numb to it all. Honestly, I'm numb to it all, man. My club has got us in the mud. But we hosted Brighton today, who were doing excellent under Zerbi. Once again, another managerial mismatch on the touchline. Frank Lampard versus Zerbi. Zerbi, who, by the way, is a manager that I highly rate. I believe he will get an opportunity at a top club, whether it's in England or one of the other leagues in Europe. But he definitely will get his opportunity, and I do think he will win things with whatever club that he decides to go to. But what I like about this guy is that he's come into Brighton and he's taken the youngsters and he's elevated them to a level higher than what Graham Potter was taking them. Now, listen, Graham Potter done a good job at that club, and Zerbi came to, take on that project. But what I've definitely seen from him is that he's elevated the level of all of those players. So he is good at working with youth. Give him the right time, he can do good things, and we're now starting to see that at Brighton. But we're going to talk about Chelsea, man. We're going to talk about decisions that were made before a ball was even kicked. And we're just going to look at the contrast of class in between managerial ability between Zerbi and Frank Lampard. Once again, I'm not here to bash Frank Lampard. It's not one of those. I have said from day dot that as soon as he came in, number one, he shouldn't be there. Number two, I've got zero, if any, expectations of Frank Lampard, because I know what his ceiling is. He knows what his ceiling is. We know what his ceiling is. The ownership of this club, they should have known what his ceiling is, because nothing good was going to come from it from a managerial perspective. The only reason why he's here is a blatant PR move. Unify the fans. But what they're about to see is if we don't get 3 points anytime soon, and I believe Crystal Palace are like 6 points off us or 3 points off us, and they're in 12th position, things may start to get ugly regardless of whether Frank Lampard is at the helm. Does he deserve it? Absolutely not. He does not deserve it, because he shouldn't be there in the first place. But let's look at decision number one in this lineup that he made. Kepa in goal. But there's a caveat with this one. He has given him the armband. He has given, respectfully, our most mentally fragile player in this squad, and perhaps in Chelsea history. He's shown us time and time again his mental fragility. Yeah? He's given him the armband. Immediately when I saw that, I said, this game is out the window, because if we're looking for a mentality shift from a captain, we're definitely not getting it from Kepa. Respectfully. Although today I felt like he made a few good saves, a couple being blown out of proportion, because if we're being honest, a lot of those shots were right in front of him, but still made some good saves. We're going to talk about what transpired throughout the rest of the game later on in this preview, obviously. But that decision to me was completely unacceptable. And Frank Lampard at the minute, in terms of doing himself any favours to try and manage at the top level or even at a Premier League club later on in his career, he is doing himself a massive disservice with some of these mistakes that he's making. They're just so blatant and overt. I don't know how he thinks these things are a good idea. Obviously, that's the situation with Kepa. We went with a young backline today. Chilwell, Badiashile, Fofana, and Trevor Chalobah, who I feel really sorry for, by the way. They were put under so much pressure. All of this was unnecessary. It was due to tactical instruction from Mr. Frank Lampard yet again. But do I expect any better? Absolutely not. I'm not surprised. I just feel sorry for that back four that they had to endure the amount of pressure that they did. Why did they endure so much pressure? Because we're going to move into that midfield area. We saw the midfield trio. It was Enzo and Zakaria as the midfield pivot, and Conor Gallagher was playing as the number 10 right in front of the two of them. I would have thought, okay, we've got Zakaria in this midfield, we've got a bit of balance. Wrong. Tactically, Frank Lampard instructed both Enzo and Zakaria to be pushing high up the field, which in turn left so much space in behind them for players like Mitoma to drop into, for McAllister to be running into, for Gross to be dropping into, Evan Ferguson when he was on to be dropping into. There was such a massive disconnect in between the midfield and that defence, and Frank Lampard has continued to show us this man does not know how to coach a team defensively. He does not know how to instruct a midfielder to adequately screen a defence. He doesn't know how to choose a profile to do so, which in turn left our players exposed. How many times did we see Trevor being lined up by Mitoma one-on-one, and Mitoma was frying him? Estupinian providing support as well. The 1-2s, they were just getting past them, getting into the box at will. We were completely dominated at home yet again. This time by Brighton, who have been playing very good football this season, by the way. But we made it easy for them. We made it completely easy for them. Do you know what I mean? Yes, we got the first goal, Conor Gallagher. A bit lucky, got the deflection, but we don't care how they come. I appreciate the effort given by Conor Gallagher, but to me, he has shown us yet again, he's not at that level for me at Chelsea Football Club where he can be relied on. I would like to see him moved on in the summer. Several other players in that squad were absolutely poor. Christian Pulisic, Raheem Sterling, the attitude stank. The performances stank. Walking around, not giving, just not giving a shit. They look like their heads are on the beach. Pulisic look like he's got nothing to play for in this Chelsea team and he doesn't have a future. Raheem Sterling, funnily enough, one of the newer additions, looks like he's doing the same. He looks completely uninterested. The attitude completely stinks. It stinks completely. Brighton absolutely clarted us today. We were outclassed by Zerbi today. Like I said, an excellent manager. We really got lucky. It should have been like 3 or 4-1 by half time. The amount of opportunities that Brighton were getting. Even when we went 1-0 up, I was like, we're definitely going to concede. 100% we're going to concede. And then one of the worst things that could have happened to Chelsea Football Club happened very early in the game. Unfortunately for the very talented Evan Ferguson, who had to come off with an injury. Once again, another goal scoring opportunity that we got lucky, we got away with there. Do you know what I'm saying? But he had to come off, and guess who had to come on? That guy Welbs, Danny Welbeck. And right on cue, he's that guy to get the equaliser. You could bet your house on it. Danny Welbeck, anytime he comes onto the pitch against Chelsea Football Club, loves to score goals. Done it to us last season, done it again this season. I am completely not surprised, but it was very well deserved from Brighton because they controlled the game. They looked like they were the home team. Today, an embarrassing performance from us yet again. Some of the positives, if any, Modric today I thought was brilliant. This was definitely one of his best performances in the Chelsea shirt today. It's unfortunate that he had to play under these circumstances with just basically clueless and useless teammates and tactics today, but he was the only one that showed some kind of understanding today, some kind of willingness, and was successful in terms of beating his man, really using that pace effectively, laying off the balls with the 1-2s, getting into dangerous spaces, really putting pressure on Brighton's defence, man. And I thought he done really well. Was obviously involved in the first goal as well, getting the assist with an excellent drive off the left, cutting into the middle of the field and just laying it off for Conor Gallagher for the first goal. So great bit of play from Modric. Looks very pleasing, man. And to me, we need to be playing to these kind of players' strengths. Do you know what I mean? Like, the lightning pace of Modric can definitely be one of our identities of how we play football in terms of like a counter-attacking style. He is lightning quick. Do you know what I mean? We can use that to our advantage. But as of now, the chopping, changing, this whole situation with João Felix on that left side, it doesn't make no sense to me, man. We need to develop some kind of identity. Brings me, I'm going to talk about João Felix as well when we discuss the substitutions. But man, the entire game, we was just under pressure, completely under pressure. Mitoma, what a player. Proving himself week in, week out that he is a top level Premier League player. Should be at one of the top level clubs. The substitutions for me, once again, a lot of pointless decisions. A lot of people are saying that we got one eye on Real Madrid, you know, we're 2-0 down, we still got something to play for. For me, I think that tie is long dead and buried, to be honest. And we also need to be treating getting points on the board in the Premier League just as important as we're looking at this Champions League thing at the minute, man, to be honest. Because once again, like I said, 15th of April 2023, we are still not at 40 points, and it is becoming concerning because we don't see where the 3 points are coming from. So please start prioritizing results in the Premier League. Kovacic came on once again. I'm tired of seeing this guy. If he's not in the long-term plans of Chelsea Football Club because he looks disinterested, the performances for me have been completely unacceptable from him. He's also been given the armband as well at times, which makes me sick, and the performances have been nowhere near good enough. Kovacic just looks like he's either past it or he's not interested to be at Chelsea Football Club. Either way, don't involve this guy if he's not got a long-term future at the club. João Felix, when he came on, I thought he was terrible, to be honest with you. But nobody really stood out today. No one really stood out today except Modric. Actually, Modric did, kind of. But I thought he was terrible today. And once again, it's not proving to me why we should be committing an 80 million, 86 million pound outlay on such a player. Absolutely not. When there are other priorities, as you can see, that we need to fix. Mason Mount, I thought when he came on, he was linking up pretty well. Set up a beautiful opportunity for Conor Gallagher with that deft touch. Beautiful touch from Mason Mount. Conor Gallagher, maybe he couldn't get to the ball quick enough, but even still, you can see he was still trying to take a touch too many, man. Just strike the ball. Strike the ball. If you can get there, strike the ball. That could have been 2-2 right there. Reece James, same again today, this time getting skinned by Enciso. Skinned as soon as he came on the pitch, but what a goal by Enciso, by the way. Excellent goal by Enciso, by the way. I forgot to talk about that. Long range strike, Kepa's speciality in letting those in. Top bin that. Kepa's arms not long enough to get there. Unfortunately, his wingspan isn't quite there. But that's what happens, man, when you know that a keeper is beatable from outside the box. And people, it'll be interesting. Actually, I'd like to know, Brighton, how many shots did they take out outside the box today? Because they looked to me like they took a very high volume of shots. So you can see blatantly they knew that Kepa was weak. So tactically they spotted that out like every other team does. You know what I'm saying? But look, it was an all-round pathetic performance for me today, man. I've got no expectations going forward. Honestly, like, it kills me to say it, but I've got no optimism going into any game right now with Frank Lampard as manager. Once again, he's proved that he is way out of his depth. To be fair on him, he's come into just a complete shit show situation. The owners, man, look, I thought at one stage this season, yeah, that we're going to let this blip happen. We're going to go into the summer and we're going to fix things. Well, I'm sorry to tell you people, this looks like it could take maybe a season or two to fix, to get anywhere near to a respectable level, to get any kind of identity in this team, regardless of who steps in as manager. That is my general opinion about this situation. We are in a bad situation. The amount of deadwood that needs to leave this club is going to take more than the summer. It's going to take more than that January. Probably going to extend into that following summer. So brace yourselves, Chelsea fans. I'm not going to be sitting here and lying to you, but hopefully we can make some good decisions along the way. Let me know your thoughts down there in the comments, man. Big up everybody for tuning into the video. Do me a favor, share the video, subscribe if you're new, smash the thumbs up as well. Bless up, people, up the Chelsea.